So I'm choosing a cross-legged seat, but of course you can choose a different one. These first moments to arrive, to maybe take this moment to appreciate that you made time and space for your practice. Your eyes might close here, tuning into your breathing, any sensations in the body, checking in with yourself physically and mentally. And as we appreciate this time and space, maybe it is helpful to think as your practice time as this bubble that you create for yourself. A time to be with you, to get to know you. And maybe it is sometimes we think about, that we might be selfish or that we could be doing other things instead of looking after ourselves. And sometimes there's that kind of dialogue or conflict going on. So maybe you can think about this bubble that you make for yourself as a time that's necessary to take care of yourself, so that then when you're out of this bubble, you can have maybe a bit more clarity, maybe a bit more energy and oomph. You might be able to be a bit more present with those other aspects of your life, the people that you take care of, that maybe need you. You can also be a bit more clear about what you pay attention to, where you invest your energy. And be a bit more present in the rest of your life too. So coming back to the here and the now, once again noticing your breath happening. And adding that layer of agency over that breath, maybe making your inhales a bit deeper and longer. Your exhales also a bit longer. And feeling the movement of your breath, hearing the sound of your breath. And you might be able to take just a bit more space as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, something might relax. But then at the end of your exhale, you might find that connection with your center. Maybe that center, that point, the back of your lower ribs or belly button. And then inviting some softness around your eyes and your jaw. A few more breaths here. And if your eyes are closed, gently opening them. Find a spot right in front of you that you can rest your gaze on. And the gaze is going to stay on that, and then we're going to find some movement through the head. So eyes stay fixed, find that spot. And then when you're ready, turn your head towards the right, but keeping your gaze on that same spot. And just go as far as you can without losing that point of focus. And then bring the head back through center. Maybe your eyes, give them a blink or two. And then when you're ready, same thing towards the left. So turn your head towards the left and look. Keep your gaze on that same spot. And then bring the head back through center. Blink your eyes a few times. You might notice that when you turn your head, you keep your eyes fixed. There's a moment where your eyeballs kind of get a stretch, or muscles around the eyeballs get a stretch. We'll do the same up and down. So set your gaze. And when you're ready, take the chin towards the chest, but keep your eyes on that same spot. And then bring the head back through center. Eyes are still on that same spot. And then as you're ready, take the chin towards the ceiling. Eyes stay fixed. And head comes back through center. Blink your eyes a few times. And now let your eyes go with the head. Right hand behind us, left hand crosses, and twist towards your right side. Take a breath here. And then come back through center and take the twist all the way to the left. A breath here. And then one more of each to the right side. And to the left. And then come back through center, take your arms out into a T, turn your palms towards the ceiling, and then turn your palms down and back. Rotate all the way up into the shoulders. Feel that upper arm bone rotating. As you keep doing this, palms up, palms down and back. And a few more times. You might even let your shoulder blades, your spine move a little bit, kind of a bit of a cow and a cat. And then the next time that your palms are facing up, neutral spine, and then drop your fingers towards the floor. So you finding the movement from your wrists, your palms are facing away from you. And then you're going to draw the fingers towards the ceiling, and now your palms are facing in. And then again, palms out, fingers down. And then palms in, fingers up. One more like that. Out. And in. And then from here, make a fist and rotate your wrists a few times in one direction. And then a few in the other. And then open up the hands, take your arms back, breath in, broaden chest. And on your exhale, right arm over left and hug. Inhale again, open up. Exhale, left over right. And again, open with your breath. And switch. And open. And last one, switch. On your inhale, open, turn your palms to face back, slide the hands behind you, interlace your fingers, and then send those knuckles towards the floor as you squeeze your shoulder blades and your elbows towards one another. Take a full breath in. And out. One more here. And then as you inhale, release that. You could reach your arms tall. And exhale, release your arms down. If you were sitting cross-legged, switch your legs. Find again your sit bones planted and bring your hands around your knees. We're going to inhale, draw the elbows back, the chest forward. Maybe lift your chin, your gaze. And then on your exhale, extend your arms as you send your back body back, chin towards your chest. And again, inhale, bring yourself forward, squeeze those shoulder blades, broaden chest. Exhale, close up chest, broaden back body. One more, inhale. And exhale, nice. With your next inhale, come back through center, sweep your arms overhead. And on your exhale, bend your left elbow, left hand behind the head, and then your right hand grabs that left elbow as you draw it in towards the head. Now, as you bring the arm into the head, push the head back into the arm. Take a full inhale and exhale. And then release that, extend your arms and switch. Right elbow bends, left hand, right elbow. Draw the arm in and then push the head into the arm. Find that little argument, arm and head, and breathe in. And breathe out. One more here. And then as you inhale, release, reach both arms tall, and then bring the hands or in front or to the side. We're coming into a table pose. Your hands more or less under shoulders, your knees more or less under hips. Free up your feet, give a few taps against the floor, maybe a few rotations through your ankles. And then we'll tuck those toes and give a stretch through the soles of the feet. So push the floor away as you send your sit bones towards your heels, and maybe your shins hover over the mat. A full breath in and a full breath out. With your next inhale, bring your shoulders back over the wrists, your knees under the hips, and take it into a cow pose. And as you exhale, find cat. And again, inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. And one more like that. Inhale. And exhale. And find a neutral spine. Extend your left leg out behind you. And on your exhale, bend the knee and draw it into your chest. Inhale, lengthen. Left knee, left elbow, exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Left knee, right elbow. Again, inhale, lengthen, knee to chest. Lengthen, knee to left elbow. Lengthen, knee to right elbow. Now inhale, lengthen, pivot on your right knee, open up into your side plank towards the left. And then from here, we'll make some circles with the left arm. You can choose to keep your left leg lifted or rest it on the ground. Left arm by your ear, down in front, by your side, up. Another one like that. And then two in the opposite direction. Take your time. We'll meet with that left arm lifted. Take a full breath in. And then on your exhale, plant your left foot and rise all the way up, arms overhead. As you exhale, left hand, left leg for a side bend. Inhale, back through center. And on your exhale, plant your right hand and return to your plank pose. Take a full breath in here. And exhale, come back to table. Both hands down, both knees down. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale, cat. All of that now on the right side. Right leg extends, inhale. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Left elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Again, knee to chest. Lengthen. Right elbow. Lengthen, and left elbow. Now lengthen, pivot on your left knee and open to your supported side plank towards the right side. Circles with that right arm now. So by your ear, down, by your side, up, another one. And then two, opposite direction. Again, taking your time. Meeting with that right arm lifted, breath in, and exhale. Plant your right foot, rise through your torso. Right hand, right leg, and side bend. Inhale back through center. And then back into your side plank, slow and controlled. Take a breath here. And then back into your table pose. Take an inhale, cow. And on your exhale, tuck your toes and find like a half down dog. So you're not going completely up with your hips, you're going back. Your knees are lifted, your chest is going towards your thighs. And then return to your table pose, cow. Let's do that again. Exhale, we call it bear pose, or I've heard it called bear pose. Again, floating your knees, kind of a half down dog. And then come back, cow pose. And then this time, half down dog to full downward facing dog. And then some movement through your legs, pedaling your feet, bending and straightening those knees. Breathing in and out. Bring your attention to your hands. Can you push the floor away? A little bend through the joints of your fingers, as if you're trying to do like fingerprints on the mat, or kind of almost like you were trying to grip it a bit. And then let's find stillness in our down dog for another breath in and out. With your next inhale, walk your hands towards your feet. Back of the mat, forward fold, we exhale. Inhale, bend the knees and rise, chair pose. And as you exhale, bring hands to your heart. Pause here for a moment, a bit more weight towards your heels, a bit more lift through your torso, shoulders down. Another breath in and out. And then push the floor away, straighten legs, reach your arms tall, grab a hold of your left wrist and take it over to the right side. Pause for a moment, a little press through the left foot, maybe gaze up. And then come back through center and switch left and right wrist and take it to the other side. Same thing here, maybe a little freedom through the neck. Extra press down through that right foot. And then back through center, take your arms wide and fold over your legs. Inhale to a halfway lift and exhale, fold. Another one like that, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And one more, half lift. And exhale, fold. Walk your hands to the top of the mat. Come into plank pose. And then from here, take it to downward facing dog. And let's do two more. Come out into plank, inhale. And return to down dog, exhale. And now a bit slower. Inhale out into plank. And exhale, slow, downward facing dog. Once you're in your downward facing dog, walk your feet to your hands. And exhale, fold. Inhale this time all the way up. Sweep your arms wide. You could bring them overhead. And then as you exhale, hands through heart and down by your side, mountain. Palms are facing forward, maybe a wiggle through the fingers, a roll through the shoulders. With your next inhale, arms lift. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step back, downward facing dog. On your inhale, roll out into plank pose. And as you exhale, see if you can lift your left foot off the ground, keeping your plank. And then lower. Take another breath in. Exhale, right foot lifts. Lower. Another breath in. And now on your exhale, we're lowering onto the belly. You could lower knees first or without your knees, but see if you can keep that neutral spine as you lower down. Once you're down on the mat, hands under shoulders, elbows squeezing towards the rib cage, cobra. Inhale, lift the chest, gaze down. And then exhale, lower. Another one, inhale, cobra. And exhale, lower. And now see if you can combine your cobra with a roll through the shoulders. So as you inhale, bring the shoulders up by your ears, lift, exhale, shoulders down and lower. With your next inhale, come back through cobra and then through all fours, downward facing dog. Lift hips. Breath in and breath out. Another inhale and exhale. With your next breath in, walk your hands towards your feet. And on your exhale, fold. Bend the knees, rise into chair. Now on your exhale, open arm twist. So you're staying in your chair, your right arm forward, your left arm back as your torso turns left. And then come back through center. And same thing towards the right. Right arm sweeps back, left arm forward, turn your torso right. And then let's do one more of each. To the left, center, and to the right. On your inhale, come back through center, and as you exhale, fold. Halfway lift, inhale, fold, exhale. Walk your hands to the top of the mat, find your plank. Pause here. Maybe again, try lifting left foot, lower, right, nice job, lower. And then from here, we'll lower all the way down to the belly. Once again, your cobra, inhale, exhale. Again, cobra, inhale, exhale. And last one, cobra, inhale. And through table, downward facing dog, exhale. Full breath in. And a full breath out. With your next inhale, walk your feet to your hands. And on your exhale, fold. All the way up, inhale, arms wide, maybe overhead. And exhale, hands through heart center and by your side, mountain. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side. Inhale, center. Exhale, left foot back, warrior 3 to warrior 1. Nice. And then whenever you've landed, inhale, we'll reach those arms up. And then same thing we did in that seated position. We're going to bend the left elbow, drop it behind the head, and then see if you can catch the elbow with your right hand. Draw that elbow in towards the head, push the head back into the elbow. You could stay here, or you could take this into a bit of a side bend, squeezing through the right side of your torso, stretching through the left side. Keep that idea of head pushing into arm and arm back into head. Another breath in and out. As you inhale, things return through center, release that. And on your exhale, bring the hands behind you, interlace them at the lower back. Send the knuckles down that back leg, broaden through your chest, and then hinge forward and down. See if you can use this pose to find a bit more space in the neck between shoulders and ears. So as the crown of the head reaches forward, the knuckles, the hands pull the shoulders away. Reach back. Another breath in. And another breath out. As you inhale, lift the torso, release the hands, reach your arms up. We're coming into a balance at the top of the mat. So when you're ready, stepping that left foot forward, keep the knee lifted. And then we'll take a twist towards the left. So left hand back, right arm forward. Nice job. Your right hand could rest on the outside of your left leg. If you're feeling adventurous, try extending your left leg. Another breath in and out. And then we're coming back through center, slow and controlled, back into your mountain pose. Left foot meets the ground. Nice. Give your shoulders a roll, breath in. Long exhale as the shoulders move down. One more. With your next inhale, sweep your arms up. And as you exhale, your right foot is going to go back. We're finding warrior 3. And we're taking that into warrior 1, landing on that back foot. Front knee bent and torso lifted. Nice. And then as you inhale, your arms will reach up. And then we'll do that shoulder stretch. So now it's your right elbow that bends. Your left hand is going to grab that elbow. If in any case, you can't grab the elbow, if that's kind of too far, you could also do forearm or wrist. Think about arm towards head, head towards arm. Take a breath in. And then maybe you take it into a side bend towards your left. It's quite the stretch for the right side. Notice that. Another breath in. And out. As you inhale, come back through center, extend the arms, and on your exhale, arms behind you. Find the opposite interlace to what you did earlier. Take a full breath in, open through your chest, and then as you exhale, hinge forward and down. Once again, see if you can use this to find that space, ears, shoulders. And you can even think about here, rather than your shoulder blades really squeezing, you might even let them spread out a little bit from left to right. I find that that feels good. Another breath. Use your next inhale to lift the torso, release your arms. We're coming to that balance at the top of the mat. So as you're ready, make your way up. Right knee lifted, and then you're finding your twist towards the right side. Left hand could come and rest on your right thigh, maybe extending forward. Maybe that right leg straightens. Breathing in and breathing out. Another one here. And then slowly unwind. Take your time. Right foot lands, arms by your side, and you're back in mountain pose. Take a breath in. Maybe an open mouth exhale. One more here. With your next inhale, sweep your arms overhead. And on your exhale, we're going to come down into a seat. So bending through those knees, maybe hands coming towards the heart. See if you can get your sit bones as close to your heels as you can. Maybe you pause there. Maybe then you slowly land without your hands, or maybe you give yourself a little help with your hands. All right, so once your sit bones are landed, we're coming into a boat pose. So coming onto your tiptoes, maybe floating those feet, maybe those shins come more or less parallel to the ground. Arms could reach forward. You could always rest your fingers behind you. Maybe you try straightening one leg, maybe the other. Maybe none, that's fine too. Think about your chest broad, shoulder blades drawing back. Another breath in. Breath out. And then on your exhale, bend your knees, plant your feet, plant your hands behind you. Maybe fan your fingers out a bit to the sides, and then come into a reverse table, lift the hips. And take a breath here. Find that space in the front of your hips. Think about your chest going up rather than sinking down. And then we'll come back to boat pose. Lower your sit bones. Maybe float your feet. Arms maybe reach forward. Remember, you could also use your hands to bring those legs or support those legs too. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more here. And exhale, come back to your reverse table. Plant your hands, lift your hips. All right, I promised a little kind of thingamy here, so we're going to give it a go. So left fingers, turn them to point to the left side, to the left side of your mat. And then from this reverse table, we're going to take it into a side plank. So think about turning your torso towards the left, and then you could extend one of the legs out, your right arm reaching up. So now you're turning your hips, and then you continue turning. Your right hand is going to plant, and now your legs are crossed. You're facing the ground. And then from here, walk your hands towards your feet, and you're in a cross leg forward fold. Drop the head. With your next inhale, keep your legs crossed, but rise all the way up to stand, reaching your arms up. And then as you exhale, we're going to turn. So we're going to pivot on the balls of the feet, and you're going to land with your legs crossed the opposite way, facing in the same direction. So you're turning all the way around. Yeah. And then you're forward folding. And then from here, walk your hands forward. Now you're going to find your side plank facing the other direction. Lift your left hand and make your way into a reverse table. And then from here, lower your sit bones and find your boat pose. Yay! Take a breath in and take a breath out. Come back into your reverse table, plant your hands. We're going to do the same thing, but we'll start on the other side, okay? So hands plant, find your reverse table. Now it's your right fingers that turn more right, and then you're going to go in that direction. So left hand lifts, you're going to come over, pivot. You could come into a side plank first towards the right side, and then keep turning your torso to face down. Your legs stay crossed, and then you walk your hands towards your feet. Forward fold, cross-legged forward fold. And then as you inhale, you rise all the way up, reach your arms up. And then from here, we're going to turn. So you're going to go all the way. Turn now, your other leg is in front. We fold again. Walk your hands forward. You know, your side plank now is towards the right. And then you take your side plank into that reverse table once again. And then we come back into our boat pose. If it didn't happen, it's fine. Take a breath in. And then on your exhale, soles of the feet together, knees wide, and lower the feet. Take a full breath in, lengthen your spine. And on your exhale, hinge forward and down. Let your spine round, let the head drop. Take a moment. Notice if anything came up with that kind of twisty little sequence. Acknowledge whatever came up. And maybe an open mouth exhale, let it go. Let it go, even if you did it and you feel proud of it, still let it go. Let it go even if it didn't happen and you're like, oh, what the heck was that? Let it go. Another breath in and out. And then with your next inhale, lifting that spine. Bring your knees up. And then we'll plant those feet and we'll come all the way onto our backs. You could reach your arms out in front. Take a breath in. And then on your exhale, slowly lower, lower back. Lower mid-back. Shoulder blades. And back of your head. Once that back body is down, bring those knees in. One hand onto each knee and then separate circles with those knees. Switch direction. And then bring the knees in. Actually plant your left foot. Keep your right knee in towards your chest. Hands behind the knee, the thigh. And then extend your right leg towards the ceiling. Stretch through the back of the leg. Think about grounding through the back of the right hip. Think about grounding your shoulder blades. Maybe sliding the back of the head a little further back. Another breath in. And then on your exhale, bend your right knee, cross ankle over thigh, a figure 4 here. Take a full breath in. And then on your exhale, drop your figure 4 to the left. See if you can plant your right foot on the ground. You can extend your arms out into a T and then turn your head over to look right. With your next inhale, release that figure 4, bring both knees into your chest, and then lift and lower your sacrum a few times. When you're ready, plant your right foot, right knee stays bent, your hands behind your left thigh as you straighten that left leg towards the ceiling. Again, re-invite the sacrum to plant, the shoulder blades, the back of the neck to lengthen. And then bend your left knee, cross your left ankle over your right thigh, figure 4 on this side. Your arms could open out into a T, and when you're ready, drop your figure 4 to the right. Left foot plants, left knee still facing up towards the ceiling, and maybe your head turns to look left. And releasing your figure 4, bringing again both knees into your chest. You could do the same as you did before, lift and lower your sacrum, or if you'd like a little bit more, you could extend your legs, take them overhead, lifting, and then you could roll up as if you were coming back into that boat, and then return a few times if this feels good. And then eventually back onto the mat. And then plant your feet. And bring your feet a bit wider. Let your knees rest towards one another. And just bring your hands to lower belly, lower rib area. Notice that breath is still happening. That there is movement to your breath. You can use your hands as reference, noticing that the belly, the rib cage expands towards your hands and then moves away from your hands. And then try lengthening both your inhales and your exhales a bit more. And if it's helpful to add a count, you could count to 4 and see if you can make your inhales and exhales that same length. You could also do 3, just see, find a count, if you're adding a count that is comfortable, that is not kind of making you go for more or kind of compete with yourself. So you don't want to strain or stress right now. You just want to kind of free up the breath and see if there's a bit more space for it. And then once you've got the count for the inhale and the exhale, and once you've got like a rhythm going, begin to explore a pause after your inhale and a pause after your exhale. Now, once you've got the pause, those 4 parts to each breath, you might now explore adding or lengthening that pause, making it the same length as your inhales and as your exhales. So again, if a count was helpful, you could add the count. Now you've got 4 parts to each breath cycle. An inhale, a pause, an exhale, and a pause. A few more cycles. Again, make sure that you're not straining or stressing the system. You're looking for freedom, space in your breath. And then begin to let go of that full part breath. And then we'll find our way into Shavasana. So you might stay here, but notice that the state is a bit different. You were acting on your breath in this previous practice, and now you're letting go of agency or acting on your breath. You're going to now let your breath be whatever it is. In Shavasana, practice of pausing, of not doing. And even if you're staying in the same shape, still lying down, calm, now you're really just letting yourself be. So no more controlling that breath or making it be a certain way. Now you're letting it be whatever it is. And then the same with you. Let your body be as is. Let yourself be as you are. Shavasana, about 5 minutes here. As always, if a longer Shavasana is available, feel free to take it. If you're ready to move on, Notice the breath is there. And maybe make that breath a bit deeper, a bit longer, and allow it to inform the movement happening in the body. Smaller, bigger movements. And taking your time. And eventually making your way into a seat where we'll meet to end practice together. Your hands might rest in your lap. You might bring your hands to your chest. And find some softness around the eyes. And maybe pull the corners of the mouth in opposite directions gently. And feel space in the face. And here, acknowledging, appreciating the practice itself. And then acknowledging and appreciating ourselves, our own practice. And remembering, appreciating all those who have practiced with us. Appreciating all those who have made it possible. We end with a word that means that the light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste.